Hello everyone and Char's blessings upon you. The third patch for Baldur's Gate 3 Early Access just came out. I've gone through the notes and managed to play a little bit on the new patch, and in this video I'd like to go through the changes that, in my opinion, are the most important or noteworthy. As you might know, this is the first patch that will make your old saves unplayable. There is a way to go back to an earlier version of the game and play your old saves, so if you were in the middle of something that you really want to finish, you can. Information on how to do this can be found in the patch notes. If you'd rather see how to do it in the form of a video, I got you. A link to a video I've made showing you how to do it can be found in the description box below. The list of improvements, balancing changes, performance upgrades and fixes is a long one, especially the list of fixes. These are mostly small things, so I'll probably not get into that section. If you want to see everything that's been changed, fixed or improved, you can find a link to the patch notes in the description as well. Alright, with that out of the way, let's take a look at these changes. First of all, they've made some improvements to the cinematics. Things such as lighting, camera tweaks, fade timings and character emotions have all been worked on to simply make the cinematics look a tad nicer. When it comes to performance, the most standout changes are reduced save times and a bunch of fixed crashes. No need to go into detail here, but it's nice knowing that the game, to put it simply, has become a bit more stable. Now, if we take a look at the improvements, this is where we'll find some of the really good stuff. First of all, moving around with your party has become a lot more fluid. One thing that really used to bug me is that if you wanted to jump somewhere with your party, you had to select each character individually and jump 4 times. And not only that, after you jump with your first character, you'd often need to move that character a couple of steps forward to make room for the next character. Then select that character, jump with it, move a bit forward, and hope that all your characters don't start running around since they're all grouped. And then you go on to the third and so on. It was a mess that took a lot of unnecessary time. Now, if your party members are grouped, you just jump with your first character and the rest of the party will simply follow. This might seem like a small thing, but trust me, this is huge. Probably my favorite change in the entire patch. Similarly, if you jump through a hole in the ground with one character, those grouped to that character will appear next to it when it's landed. Another nice addition in my opinion is the fact that you are now awarded experience for managing to avoid combat situations through dialogues and completing smaller side quests. I think avoiding combat is the important part here. Not getting experience for avoiding fights isn't great from a role-playing perspective. Players who want to play a character that only resorts to violence as a last resort and tries to use their wits and words shouldn't be punished for that playstyle. With this change, you're equally awarded for your progress regardless of how you do it. Something that I think is very important in games like Baldur's Gate 3 that want the player to experience a great deal of freedom when it comes to how it approaches the challenges the game presents. Next, they have decluttered, as they put it, the hotbar a bit by not having each level of a spell take up its own slot in the hotbar. Instead, you now click the spell you want to use and then select if you want to cast the level 1 or the level 2 version. I think this is a very welcome change because the hotbar, well, it's a hot mess to be honest. I don't think this will make the hotbar feel not cluttered, but at least less cluttered. This is something that I hope they continue to work on. I've played Divinity Original Sin 2 before this and spent a lot of time in Baldur's Gate 3, but I still lose track of things that I can do in combat. So a welcome change that's hopefully not the last one when it comes to the hotbar. Before we move on to balancing changes, this is something that doesn't affect me personally, but there are probably people out there who are happy to hear that the cross-platform saves are now working as intended and activated. Alright, on to the balancing changes we go. First, they've made changes to the default amount of ability points that are given to clerics and rogues. Clerics now get an extra point in dexterity to make them able to use medium armor, while rogues have more intelligence to make it easier for players to play the arcane trickster archetype. The cantrips Firebolt, Ray of Frost and Acid Splash no longer create surfaces, meaning they won't set the ground on fire, create a layer of ice or a puddle of acid. At first glance this might look like a nerf, and maybe it is, but I like this change. These are your cantrips, the spells that you'll spam since they don't take up a spell slot. And having them not create hazards on the ground for your own party members makes them a bit more spammable. Ray of Frost will still freeze water and blood, and Firebolt will still burn and explode flammable or explosive surfaces and objects. So you can still create these surfaces with your cantrips if they're combined with other things, but now you can also use these cantrips without creating surfaces, so good change. Another little balance change is that you can now use dash while in stealth, which will definitely be a welcome change to all of you sneaky sneaks out there. And finally, another really nice change is that you can now take 2 short rests between every long rest instead of just the 1. I love this one. While I think that the camp is nice for story progression and interactions between characters, it does take you out of it, so to speak, to have to travel back and forth between the camp and the Underdark after almost every fight. I've always thought that they could be more restrictive with what areas you can reach the camp from, but if they were, they need to make you able to rest more without the camp. Maybe even more than 2 short rests, but that's the topic for another video. Those were the changes that really stood out to me in this patch. I'd love to hear what you think about this patch. Do you agree with my list here, or do you disagree? Are there something that I didn't even bring up that you find to be really important? If so, I would really like to hear it. So please head down to the comment section and talk to me. If you want to talk to me even more than that, you can head over to the community Discord server, where there are already a lot of cool cats and pretty little piggies. I also stream live on Twitch every Monday and Wednesday, and I play a lot of Baldur's Gate 3 over there, so if you fancy that, you should come on over. That's it for this one. This was kind of a long one, so if you stayed with me all the way to the end, if you were here right now, I'd give you a high five, a big one. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. What are you gonna do? Hi. Oh, she's gone. Okay, you found Gale. Impressive. Fucking bastard. Astarion, you have to hit now, finally. He's so close to dying. Don't miss all the time. Wait. 35% chance. But this is not gonna deal enough damage to kill him, is it? It worked! We died! Oh my god.